way too early NBA predictions. Now, this one, I have 3 predictions. The first one is with last year's Rookie of the Year and the runner-up, Luka Doncic and Trae Young. Now, are they going to somehow win Rookie of the Year again and sparks up a whole other Ben Simmons joke? No. But my prediction is, and it's a bold prediction, is that if they lead their respective teams, the Hawks and the Mavericks, to the playoffs, they will be MVP candidates. If they lead their teams to the playoffs, they will be MVP candidates. Trae Young, I know it's a small sample size, 3 games. Washington's case, 4 games. Luka's case, 3 games. Trae Young has 34 points per game, shooting at 51.5% from the field, 52% from the 3, 6.6 rebounds per game, and 9 assists per game. If you ask me, that is amazing. And against the Magic, to seal the win, he scored 8 points in a row to get the win. Luka on the other hand, adding Kristaps has only made that team better, and he's been amazing to watch. He's insanely good. 29.3 points per game on 50% shooting. The 3-point field goal percentage is not quite there, it's low 30s. 10.3 rebounds per game, 7.3 assists per game, and then defensively 2.3 steals per game. That is crazy from these second-year players. That is insane. So I believe that if they keep that up and they lead their teams to the playoffs, and it probably has to be a bit higher seed, not 6, 7, 8, maybe 5th seed. I can argue that they're a true MVP candidate. But if they lead their team to the playoffs, they will be MVP candidates. So that's my first huge, bold, way too early NBA prediction. The second one is, again, with Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets are going to be a bottom seed playoff team. 7th or 8th seed, or they will not be in the playoffs at all. Kyrie already, 3rd game in, there is a bunch of noise already that he's had mood swings that has interfered with the team. He's not been very good at communicating with the team, stuff like that. And we saw in his first game, he can have all the stats possible, 50 points, but still lose. In my mind, and from what I've seen, given his history with the Celtics and now with the Brooklyn Nets, from what I've seen, he does not know how to play cohesive team basketball with everyone passing the ball to each other. He's more familiar with street basketball where it's one-on-one, spin move, do some sort of really cool layup or some sort of really cool fadeaway jumper. Highlight plays. Rather than team basketball where everyone's passing around. Spurs basketball, even though it's a bit slower, it gets the job done. And I do not think that he can do that. And the way that the team has been playing defensively as well, they're one of the worst defensive teams right now. I don't think that they're going to be a good team this year. 7th or 8th seed, or maybe not even make the playoffs at all. The third prediction that I have, and the final one that I have, is that once Mike Conley starts taking off, the Utah Jazz are going to take off. Yes, they sit at 2-1 right now, but it's a shaky 2-1. It's not very impressive. They've had really close games so far. Their offense, to me, has looked really lackluster. If their offense looked competent against the Lakers, they would win. But it didn't look competent, and so they got blown out. And it all rides on Mike Conley because I almost called him a Spider Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell cannot do it all. He cannot. Not this year. Not this year. He needs some help. Conley's stats in his first 5 games are not pretty. His points for the first 4 games, 5 points, 13 points, 12 points, 1 point, all accumulate to an average of 7.8 points per game. He has 3 of 20 from the distance, from the three-pointer. That's 15%. 15%. And he's not doing too pretty from just regular field goal percentage. But I believe once he averages during a stretch, or maybe for the whole season in the end, and if he does, the Jazz will look amazing. If he averages around 20 points per game, 5 assists per game, he is close to that 5 assist mark, and starts hitting threes at a nice clip, mid-30s would be alright, and around 50% for field goal percentage, then I think the Jazz will really take off and go on a pretty nice win streak. I had them getting around the 2nd, 3rd seed, mainly because they really should be aiming for that as a young team, so that they have a leg up on other teams that are more experienced than them. But also because I believe that with Mike Conley there, it's going to ease up a lot of the stress on Donovan Mitchell to carry the load offensively for this team. Yes, Bogdanovich needs to do what needs to be done in order to score. Yes, Rudy Gobert should carry his own load offensively. But it all starts with Mike Conley. And Mike Conley, once he starts taking off, shooting-wise, scoring-wise, it's going to make the Utah Jazz better and a lot more dangerous because they already have that defensive side of them locked up. So those are my 3 predictions. Trae Young, Luka Doncic, if they bring their team to the playoffs, they will be MVP candidates. The Nets are going to be 7th, 8th seed, maybe worse. And the Jazz are going to take off once Mike Conley takes off himself.